Hey, Tony Gaskins here. I want to pop in. Quick lesson I was thinking of, something I learned. And this is so hard. It's hard I think it's hard for humans in general, but it's really extremely hard for men. When you think about it, you look online and you look for a married couple. Look for a married couple online and see where people who show their business, see how many men, how many examples do we have of men showering their woman above and beyond. One of the things I've found as men is we could be very cheap. Like we could have money, have affordability, and be cheap. Be not frugal, be cheap. And when it comes to our woman. But then we'll take and spend whatever on a watch or on a boat, on a car. Some of these old school cars that men have, how much money them parts cost. We'll spend whatever on what we want. But then when it comes to our woman, we cheat. And another thing that we do is we keep score. Oh, she didn't cook yesterday, so she don't deserve no back rub. Oh, she ain't do this for me. She ain't do that for me. You know, we keep score. Oh, she don't have to do this, or she don't have to do that. Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. We keep score as men, and that should not be the case. It should not be the case. As men, we have to get to the place to where we love our woman unconditional. We love her regardless of what she's doing. In the sense of if she's not doing anything bad, meaning she's not cheating, she's not lying, then after that, we need to love her without limits. Love her without boundaries. And the benefit of this as a man is you get so many other rewards in life. Because what you're doing is bigger than you. Because when you love the woman like this, in essence, you learning selflessness. And so imagine being selfless, in your purpose, in your business, where you could give everything. You opening your heart, you stretching your heart. You also getting aligned, and you getting position in the world. Meaning you sowing good seeds, so you're gonna reap a harvest. It's more benefits than just what the woman gonna do for you. And if you chose right, you chose the right woman, and if she rested well, if she's healthy, then she's gonna reciprocate above and beyond. It's different if she's not healthy, she's going through in her body, she's not rested, she's sleeping 4 hours. Then you could do the whole world, and she may not have it physically to do what you want her to do. But if she is in good health, she gonna show up and she gonna reciprocate because that's in her nature. But as men, we gotta start leading in love, meaning setting the tone for how we want the love to be, setting the tone and going above and beyond. Being creative, like really just letting your mind go when it comes to what you're gonna do for your woman and how you're gonna treat your woman. The same creativity that you may have in your business, in your hobbies. So it's like you'll see a man who, if he rebuilding an old school car, he got all this creativity, all the different, from the parts he want to do, the exhaust he want to do, the interior he want to do. But then when it come time for his woman's birthday, he getting some flowers and some chocolate. It's like the same creativity that we put in our business, in our marketing, in our hobby, in our craft, in our skill, in our trade, whatever it is. The same energy we put there, we need to make sure we putting that same type energy in our woman and going above and beyond. And just not keeping score, not keeping up with, I did this, did she do this? I did this, did she do this? Because it's never gonna be equal. Because we all gonna be biased. So we do something we think is worth 5 points. They do something we think is worth 3 points. So, and it's just because when you doing something, when you giving of yourself, when you being selfless, you're gonna feel it more because you're pouring out. When you're receiving, you're not pouring out from what's being received, so you don't feel what your partner had to sacrifice or go through or put out. You don't feel the drain on her. You just get the receiving end of it. And then she's pouring into you, but she's not just filling up what she drained. She filling up your mommy wounds, your daddy wounds, the stress from your job. So we never really give her full credit for what she doing because we depended on her to restore us for all of the drama and stress and trauma and trouble that we facing in our whole life. And so it's never gonna feel equal if you're trying to keep score because you're not really looking at just a relationship. You drained and stressed and frustrated from things that have nothing to do with her, but then expecting her to complete you and to fill you all the way up. And that's where we go wrong. And I have realized the benefits of loving my wife unconditionally, without limits, without boundaries. And, I don't show it online or anything like that just because I frankly don't like seeing this stuff because, I feel like we should take care of our relationship. Some stuff you're going to show big, anniversary, birthday sometimes, but just making a showcase of it, I don't agree with that because when you exposing too much and you showing too much, it get to be for the show and not for the work. It get to be for the wrong reasons. So some things, we should show just to set an example, but it shouldn't be a docu-series, something like that. But I have realized the benefits of loving my wife without limits, and I realized that it's bigger than me and her. It's universal law, meaning it's principle. You sow in that way with the human that's created to be with you, to reproduce with you, to grow old with you, to live with you. That's the highest call because that's the other half of you. That's who you were created to coexist with. So when you take care of that and you feed that, you do what you're supposed to do in that area, then your creator honors that more than what you're doing in the field. And I've seen that and realized that, and I'm like, wow. So it's really a secret to success that a lot of men don't understand, that we working and we grinding, we trying to be successful just in business. But if you learn how to be successful in your household, if you learn how to be successful there, you learn how to take care of your woman, you hitting on something totally different. You unlocking parts of your brain and parts of your heart, and you healing in ways that most men don't heal in. And so you're gonna have the clarity and the vision to do things that most men can't do. And you're gonna get blessings that most men won't get. And you're gonna have a peace and a prosperity that most men will never have or never understand because you became selfless. You crucified your ego and you served somebody else wholeheartedly at your fullest capacity. And you didn't keep score to make sure that she is doing the same thing based on your biased perception. Instead, you just doing everything you can, speaking the love language that she need to hear, and then you trusting that you chose the right woman and that she's gonna do the same for you. And that'll soon be revealed. But at the end of the day, you're not keeping up with the score. as long as you're not being disrespected and taken advantage of and mistreated, you realize that you're going to express differently than she's going to express. But you are grateful when she expresses, and you take that into account, and you register that, you process that. Wow, she did this, she did that. And you really racking up the score in your head instead of just stacking up all the stuff on your side. I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do that. You don't do this, you don't do that. And you get out of that and you give credit where credit is due. And it's a balance, it's a fine line. It's hard to understand, but I feel like it's so much growth in that when we get outside of ourselves and we stop going tit for tat and we stop waiting to be served and we start looking to serve. It's like a waiter in a restaurant, you know. They don't come and sit down at your table and say, oh yeah, can you bring me something to drink? They come and they bring you something to drink. They taking your order. And I think a part of that inside of a relationship for men, that's vulnerability. And it's what guys confusing as a simp, because if a man being taken advantage of and all of that, then yeah, that's one thing. But to lead with love, to love and to serve and to set an example, that's the highest level of manhood. And it teaches your daughter something. It teaches your son something that they're not going to get that lesson from anywhere else in the world. But when they see their father could be selfless, could be a servant, could balance and really understand what true manhood is, what true masculinity is, and understand that the strongest in the room is the most humble, the most loving, the most giving, because that's real strength. But when you can't be humble and you can't be loving and you can't be giving, you can't be vulnerable, that's when you weak, because you hurt, you traumatized, you broken, you bitter. And so you got to heal, you got to grow, and then you give from a place of strength. And that's what sets the tone. That's what sets the example. And that's how you raise your children, by example, not just with your words. So we have to evolve from toxic masculinity and thinking that being a man means putting our foot on our woman's neck and controlling her like she a slave and running and ruling her. And we got to start loving her, serving her, showing her that our strength is in our gentleness and that we man enough to go out and conquer the world, provide a living, be a provider. But yet when we come in our house, we can be of service and we can love. And that's the space where we could drop our guards and we don't have to treat our household like the enemy, like an opponent that we need to conquer. And instead, we take that energy and we conquer our goals, we conquer our dreams, we achieve in the world. And in the household, the achievement is love, pure, selfless love, genuine, whole, healthy love. And I think that's what we need as men. And to be honest with you, I'm tapped in, I'm there, and I still got some growth. I still got some areas that I could grow in, but I already see the benefits. So just like when you in the gym and you go to working out and you see the benefits, so it make you want to keep going. Once you tap in this way in your life, in your relationship, you're going to see the benefits and then you're going to want to keep going. So, hey, this man to man, God bless you. We'll talk soon.